should be working.
Good morning. Here it is. I'm so glad to be here with you, and I want to thank Pastor Dave for inviting me here, and Carly for doing lots of planning for this time. And I do not know that it will be snowing. If I know, I wouldn't come. No, I'm just joking. I like it. I enjoyed it so much. It's something nice. I see everything is white. My name is Ashraf, and I know Ashraf is a hard name, so I'm teaching people how to say it. So I do 2 syllables. You know, ash, A-S-H, from ash to ash, and rough. So ash, rough. But I'm not ash or rough. So just to let you know. So my name is Ashraf, and I'm originally from Egypt, and I lived most of my time in Egypt. And then we live a little bit in Missouri. I worked with a mission, and then I'm working with Converge now. Our basic in Orlando, but my ministry mainly in Egypt, the Middle East, the Gulf area, and some in the United States here, meeting with the Muslims. And my family here, that's myself when I was young. And my son Jonathan, he's 13 years, and I start with Jonathan because this is the easiest name. So, and he is the 7th grade. I don't have 3 daughters, but she's my wife, Niveen, and her name is Niveen. And this is my oldest daughter. Her name is Shulamith, or Shalomite, like an English word in the Bible. And she's last year of college. And Trevina, and she's 18, she's the first year of college. And I thank God for this family. They always supporting me. And I'm traveling a lot. And actually, I appreciate my wife for being with the kids all the time. And I appreciate my kids. They always supporting me. They never, well, sometimes say, Daddy, I'm gonna start to travel again. But they always supporting me and pray for me, and I thank God for this. So I have to. Okay. You maybe notice here, it just the word has come together. But our main ministry is reaching Muslims to Christ. That's the main thing we are trying to do. And that's our mission, since we are from Egypt, so our mission is from the United States and Egypt as well, and in the Middle East. And as you know, today we're talking about how to reach Muslims. And maybe before I start, let me ask you this. Do you guys understand me? My accent is clear for you? Yes. You sure? Yes. Okay, thank you. So the first question, why should we study about Islam? Why? My understanding is you guys live very far away, very north, there is no Muslims. Well, I heard from Carl in the past that you guys have like 5 million tourists a year, every year or last year, and some of them are Muslims. But maybe some churches asking, why should I study about Islam? Maybe my age, I don't have to study about Islam. Maybe the church is busy we have lots of challenges, we have lots of activities. So why I just add to my ministry something else called reaching Muslims? So why should we study about Islam? And that's the question, like most of American people who lives here is asking this question. Why we just think and study and try to reach other people? Well, here is the answers. The Muslims population now is 1.67 over the world. And 1 out of every 5 people is a Muslim in the world. 1 every 5. And this is very big statistics. And to be honest with you, this is maybe 2-3 years statistics, so it's growing. So I'm not sure, but maybe the number will go higher. But number two, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. So if you count the population and the numbers in each country individual in the world, it considered the fastest growing religion. So we don't hear about like Buddhist, like Buddhism or Hinduism, but we hear about Islam is growing very fast. But number three, the fast growing religion in the United States. And you guys are American here. If you just think about 15 years ago, you never even heard about a Muslim, or you heard them in their countries. But the time came that you guys can see Muslims, see people from the Middle East in everywhere in the United States. And this is a 2015 statistics. And I apologize that I don't have the 2020, but let me just show you what this map about. This is the United States, and this is the number of the mosques in every state. But this is in 2015. Now, Texas is 102, and California is 525. Whereas Minnesota is 37. But let me tell you something about Minnesota. In 2017, I came here south, and I met with a pastor, and he has a blue book in his bookcase, and he told me, let me show you something different from what I have here. And he opened about some statistics in Minnesota. And he showed me in 2017, he showed me that the number of the mosques in Minnesota went up from 37 to 128. That's the pastor from here, from Minnesota. 128. And that's happened in 2 years. So it was not doubled, but it's 3 times. It went up 3 times. So that's 2017 now, 128. What about 2020 in Minnesota? And again, I know maybe down south, lots of Muslims, maybe here a little bit just through the tourists. At Duluth, last October I came and I worked with Campus Crusade. They asked me to come and give the same seminar to the students in Duluth, the university at Duluth. Well, they have lots of Muslims now in the university. So that's just let you know, see the numbers. If you go with the numbers like Pennsylvania, 98, and New York, 507. Again, I'm reminding you that this is 2015. So if you just double this, at least double it or triple, you can imagine the number of the mosques in the United States. I'm sorry, it seemed that the format is different from my computer to this computer. So the news, I can't read this. Demographics, yeah. How many, yeah, that's my question. How many workers, neighbors, teachers, etc. you meet occasionally or in regular time? Your legacy, that's really very, very important. I'm always saying that it is not about us. Maybe you are an age that, we're not gonna meet with a Muslim, maybe, I'm not gonna thinking to move from here. And so it's not about us. It's about our kids, our legacy. I'm sure that your kids, your grandkids, went somewhere in the United States, and they will meet with a Muslim, for sure. So we have to educate them. Let me ask you a question. What if your grandson or your son called you or came to your home and say, hey dad, mom, grandma, grandpa, I met a Muslim and he asked me some questions about Christianity. What should I do? Let me give you one example. Muslims always have main question. The question is, try to approve that your Bible is not corrupted, but do not use your Bible to approve your answer. So, how to answer the Muslims that our Bible is not corrupted, but I will not use my Bible because they do not trust in that resource. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't trust the Bible. So I cannot say, hey, the Bible says that. Well, I said, I don't trust your Bible. So how can I answer the Muslim question that my Bible is not corrupted and I'm not going to use my Bible? So we have to be equipped, not just for us, but for my kids, for my grandkids. I went to California and one of my friends showed me the history book for his daughter, and she's in 7th grade. The book has 150 pages about Islam and has 45 pages about Christianity. And when I go through the book, the 150 pages on the book of the history, I found they wrote lots of stuff. So anyone can read the book. Well, that's good book. So my point is, we have to, where is your legacy? Where is your legacy? We have to be equipped so we can equip our kids. So why we study about Islam? It's very important. I'm not gonna go in deep like Bible study and no. Today I'm gonna just give you the basis, and you don't need guys to know everything in detail about Islam. You don't have to. But at least you know how do they think, how we can answer them, how can we show the love of Jesus to them. Very principle. Main principles. Opportunities. The othermost of the earth is now gathering here in the United States. We know that Jesus said in Book of Acts, Book of Mark, chapter 16, to go to every place, Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and now, all these people are here. Sometimes I say, why we need to send the missionaries outside? We have millions of Muslims here. We need missionaries here to reach Muslims. Well, some people asking me, why don't you go and spend all your time in Egypt? I'm doing this. I spend most of my time in Egypt, but I'm here also because God called me to reach Muslims here. Who's gonna speak to them? Well, I'm speaking the same language, Arabic language. This is my native language, so I can speak like them. I have all of the same culture, so it's easy for me to reach them. Here, we have the freedom, praise the Lord, in America until now. So I can talk to him. Well, if I talk to him in Egypt, they will take me to the prison just right away. If I give him a Bible, they can shoot me, easy. So, but here, to speak to them. So that's why God, Jesus, the Bible told us to go and preach the gospel to every. But number 5, Muslims in America are reachable. Excuse me. If you think that Muslims are terrorists, all of them, I'm sorry to say you're wrong. I like this saying. All terrorists are Muslims, but not all Muslims are terrorists. Do you get it? Yes, if you caught any terrorist and ask him what's his religion, he say, I'm a Muslim. All the explosions, everything is a Muslim. But doesn't mean that all Muslims are terrorists. No, some of them. And some people is asking me like, are all Muslims are terrorists? I said, thank you. And I said, no. Christian here, some Christian by name, they don't go to church. Muslims the same thing. They don't go to the mosque. They don't read the Bible or the Quran. Nothing. The second section, just people can go to the church just because of their dad and mama took them, because their house is here, because it's a routine. He has to go to Sunday, the school. He know a little bit about preaching and Bible. Some Muslims are the same. They can go to the mosque, read the Quran. It's okay to go to the mosque, pray, because their dad just always telling them to pray. But the other people that are reading the Bible, very vouching to Christianity, the same thing with the Muslims. But in that part, when they read the Quran, when they get devoted to Islam, they became Muslims, terrorists. They became terrorists because the Quran has lots of things about violence. So that's why it is just sectors that they are terrorists. But other than that, they are very reachable. Let me tell you a fact. And again, I'm from Egypt. I live with a Muslim. Okay. The fact is, Muslims, most of them want to know about Jesus. They want to. That's the truth. Do you know why? Because the religion couldn't fill anything in their heart. So they read the Quran, they go to the mosque, but still there is hunger. And they hear about Jesus. So they want to listen about, hear from you about Jesus. They want to come to the church. They want to ask you questions about Jesus. So that's why they are very reachable. Many Muslims here come to Jesus in America. And I think you guys have Dr. Nader here, and has the same from Iran. So many of them, we can talk. They can come to Jesus easily here. So they are reachable. They wanna hear about Jesus Christ. And this is some of the books. If you are interested, you can order it on Amazon. One of the books is called Hundreds of Thousands of Muslims Coming to Faith to Christ. This is called the Miraculous Movement. This is the name of the book. And let's talk about how nowadays hundreds of millions of Muslims come to Jesus. So that's really very good book. The other book is called Dreams and Vision. Many Muslims come to Jesus because they saw Jesus in dreams and visions. If you're familiar with YouTube, go to YouTube and type this. More than dreams. More than dreams at YouTube. Type this, choose English, and you have like 4 or 5 stories, real stories from different countries, how they saw Jesus. One of them, I think is from Pakistan, I'm not sure, but he saw Jesus in the Kaaba. You know Kaaba, the Muslim go pilgrimage just to pray in Saudi Arabia. When he went there to these holy places, he saw Jesus there in a vision, and he came to Jesus. They left them and came to Jesus. So this is another book. The third book is A Wind in the House of Islam. This is this one on the top. Like this is number 1 book if you decide to buy. And 29 nations with new movement of Muslim background believers. And the name of the book, A Wind in the House of Islam. This is very, very famous book. And this by David. And Too Many to Jail. This is expanding serious stories, rapidly expanding numbers of Christian followers. That's in Iran, specifically in Iran. So one more time, if you're interested, you can order this in Amazon or you can find this. And that's the point. Could your church work to engage in this special opportunity? I met with David Tunnell. He came here, I think, maybe last month or so. David Tunnell from Bayside Church. What's the name of the city? Superior, yeah. And last time I shared with them about how the church can get engaged with the Muslims. One of them is just we invite them here in the church and having lunch, snacks, dinner, whatever, and we build the relationship with them. And so when I met with David, his wife told me that we got inspired of what we're saying, and today, which is yesterday, they have international student gathering. So they get the international students, Muslims and other religion, and they have kind of like, light dinner together in the church. So yes, I encourage you that your church can engage in that work, and I'm willing to help you and go with you step by step. This is one of the churches in California. When I googled this church, and I make copy paste of this. They call Muslim Outreach. I hope every church in America to start a ministry among the Muslims. I hope. It doesn't have to be like big ministry, but it could be small ministry. It could be like you guys, like you said, you have tourist come here every year in summer, so can get engaged with them. We can do something. So I hope every American church to do the same like this church. Reach to reach Muslims. I'm gonna speak today about 3 things. I'm gonna take like 1 hour or less about know the religion. That's number 1. Know the religion. And then we will take break. Is it right? We have break. And there is coffee. And know their culture and know their approach. So I'm going to talk about 3 topics. Know the religion, because when I want to talk to somebody, I need to know how does how this person think about me. What's in his mind about the God, about Jesus. So I will tell you what do they think about us. Number 2, know their culture. Why? Their culture for them is very, very important. And if you do not respect their culture, they will not hear you. And I'm going to talk more about this. But some people say, hey, we live in America, we act like American, they have to change. Yes, you're right, 100%. But Paul said that I have to be like them everywhere. Like Paul said that I have to be Jewish like Jewish. I have to be Gentile like Gentile. I can do everything. Why? To win everyone to Jesus. So in that time, when you meet with the Muslims, it's okay. Act, respect his culture. He will hear you about Jesus when you speak. Share with him the gospel. And then live like an American after that. Okay? And then know their approach. How can we approach them? How can I talk to them? Sometimes, unknowingly, I can go and talk to them wordless, and they said, okay, thank you, and they will leave me. So how can I approach them? So that's the 3 topics we're going to talk. Number 1, know the religion. Now, after every topics, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions. So please do not hesitate to raise your other hand and ask me. The beginning of Islam. How Islam started? Islam started the birth of Muhammad. His name is Muhammad. He was born in 570 AD. And he was born in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. And he's from a tribe called the Quraysh. Excuse me. And his father, Abdullah, he died when he was young. His mother was Amina. His religious was idol. And this is very important for me. Why? Sometimes, most of the time, when we have kids, our kids become Christian, even by name, because we are Christian. Muslims. So he grew up in idol worship. So his dad and mom was worshiping idols. So you can imagine what's his background. How he come up with Islam? Yes, we know that his name is Muhammad. How he come up with the Islam? Well, it is said that in 610 AD, but his age was 40, he went to a small cave, and that cave is in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca. It's called the Mecca. This is Saudi Arabia, and Mecca's here. And in Mecca there was like a small cave, and he used to go there and just worship whatever they said. And this is called the Hira. And that's what they said. Now I'm saying this, that's what they said. So they said there's an angel came to him and started to talk to him. And he gave him the Quran and he said like, read this. And he said, I do not know how to read. And he said, read. And he said, I do not know how to read. And Gabriel said, just read. And then Muhammad started to read. And when Muhammad started to read, he started to read the Quran. And from here, Islam started. Now, he got scared and he said, well, maybe this is a demon or an evil or something, just Satan came to me. How do I know that this is right? It's not a demon, it's an angel. So, the first confirmed by Khadija. I'm going to say this story very quickly. So what's happened, he went to, that's the story according to their religion, the Quran. I'm not saying anything from mine, that's their Quran. What's the religion, what they say? They said that he went to Khadija. Khadija is his wife. And he married, Khadija is older than him 25 years. And he married her. So anyways, he went to his wife and because she was rich. So he went to his wife and she told him about this story. And she said, you know, I saw an angel, and I'm not sure it's a demon or an angel. And I consider it a dirty story, but that's the story is. She put him in her lap in a unmodest way, improper way. And she told him, well, just sit in my lap here. And if the demon, if we don't see anything, then this is an angel, because the angel will not stay to see this sexy, dirty scene. So it will not be here. So he sat in her lap in not in proper way. And then, do you see anything? And he said, no. Then she said, well, you know what? Come here. So she put him in the other lap. Do you see anything? He said, no. Now she put him, in the middle, and she said, like, do you see anything? He said, no. And then she said, you know what? This is from God, because the angel is not here. By this, they approve that the Quran is right. See how we approve our Bibles right, and look at them, how do we see the Quran? Allah in Arabic, listen to this. Allah is an Arabic word for God, or God. However, there is difference between the God of Bible and God of the Quran. Now, Muslims will come to you as American and say, hey guys, what do you worship? You guys worship Allah, the word Allah. And we worship Allah. They are right. But not the whole right. Why? Arabic language, for me, the meaning of God in Arabic is Allah. So in my Bible, when I open my Bible, when I read the Bible, it's called Allah. In their Quran, the same word God is Allah. So it's just Arabic. It's a vocabulary word. It's Arabic word. But does it mean that we worship the same God? But they tricked the people, especially the American people who do not know the language, and they said, you guys, you worship Allah and they worship the same Allah, we have the same Allah. No. Allah is just a word, but we don't worship the same Allah. Singularity, it is the most important attribute. So Allah is one. Muslims believe that Allah is just one. And this is the verse. He said that Allah, the one, eternity besought of all, he beneath nor was begotten. That's in the Quran, number 112. So this is the verse from Quran, and this is the reference here. Okay? They say that Allah is one. Allah is just one. So by saying that, they deny the Trinity, and at the same time, he was not begotten or died. And we'll talk about this later. So that's number one. Number two, Allah is a progressive God. That's how they think. And he replaces previous commands with new. Now, if you open the Quran, you said that, I'm just picking any examples, okay. You said like, you know what? Do not do this and this. And after many chapters, for the same things, the Quran will say, no, do this and this. Or vice versa. One time you say, do this and this. And for the same command, after some chapters, say, do not do this and this. And we ask them, well, why is it like contradictory here? They said, because Allah is a progressive God. What does it mean? It means that he said that, but after a while, he changed his mind. So he abolished the first one, he deleted the first verse, and we got a new one. And that's normal in the Quran. So he changed his words. Number 3 or 4, Allah is sovereign master who requires man to submit to a man. How do they think to Allah, to God? They think like God is just the master, and we are slave. We don't deserve anything. We have to go to Allah, God, just worshiping Him as a slave. So when I talk about God, we're talking about God the Father who loves us, and He sent His Son Jesus Christ to die for the Quran. God is caring about us, and so and so and so. He doesn't understand you. When you mention the word God, Allah, for Him, that's the supreme master. He's up here and I'm down here. He's a slave. I have to satisfy Him. I have to say master to Him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's Allah in their mind. So do not engage with him in the discussion thinking that he knows your God, the love God. No, he knows the powerful master God, and we are a slave. So he gives his commands. You have to go to the mosque to pray. You have to read the Quran. You have to give money to the poor. See? So I have to do this. If I don't do this, his God, the master, is going to punish me. That's the difference between God in the Quran and in the Bible. Loves those who do good. Only God will love Muslims or people if you do good. Here God is love for everybody, especially sinners. I'm sorry. And the second word is, here you can see, slaves to Allah. We are slaves to Allah. But here we have a personal relationship with God. When we worship God, we have a personal relationship with Him. We go there and meet with Him as a son to his father. And then the third one, no certainty. But here we trust Jesus and His promise. What does it mean, no certainty on paradise? Here it's in the wall here. What does it mean? It means that you can do whatever good. Do good, 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 good forever. But listen, when you die as a Muslim and meet with God, God, the only person who will decide if you go to heaven or hell. You do not know. So, I will talk about this later. So some people asking me why Muslims kill Christian or why they do like the Twin Tower or something like this. Why? Well, many reasons. I'm going to mention this later, but because of this. Because there is no certainty to go to heaven except if you kill a Christian or commit a suicide against a Christian. That's the only way. If you do this, you for sure 100% you'll go to paradise. So that's one the mentality. That's the religion. So that's one of the things. So before I go to Jesus, do you have any question about God? Okay, yes, sir.
Could you clarify where the Quran came from?
Yeah, well, that's in the story about, the Quran, how they started the religion. but the Quran came from the Caliph's people. After Muhammad, there was 4 people, they called the Caliph or Khalifa, and those people start to gather the Quran. From what Muhammad said, from what Muhammad wrote about the Quran, and they start to gather the Quran from everywhere. There is a big story about this. There was 7 different editions from the Quran, and one of the Khalifa people, I said there are 4. The third one, his name is Ali, and he found like we have 7 Quran. How this happened? So he burned 6. And he just survived 1. And people ask him, well, why did you do this? Maybe one of the 6 is the right one. He said, no, this is the only one is right. So they start to gather, and let me add this very good question. They have the Quran, and they have other books called, in Arabic, Hadith. Hadith in English means like talkative. What does it mean? Like Muhammad said different words and commands and other things. It's not mentioned in the Quran, but it's mentioned in the other book. So some people, Muslims, sometimes refer to some actions to the Quran, but then they refer to the other actions to the other books. It's called the Hadith book. Thank you. This is a good question. Yes, sir.
At the very first, when you were talking about the beginnings, okay, the angel Gabriel and verse 8, I didn't quite get first confirmed by Khadijah. Was Khadijah his wife, or was that a vision? I know what's the word Khadijah?
Yeah. When he went to the cave, he saw the angel. Right. And then he got scared and fear, and he doesn't know if this is an angel or a demon, a Satan. So he went to his home. Khadijah is his wife.
That's okay. I got it now. Thank you.
And I said like she's older, 25 than him, because he married her because her money, and he needs her to spread his religion. So he went to her and tell her about the story, and as I said, yeah. Any other question about Allah? Okay. Then about Jesus Christ. What do they think about Jesus Christ for us? We have to understand how do they think. So when I share with Muslims say, Jesus, Jesus. Well, when you say Jesus, now see how he is going to understand you. Jesus, his name is Isa. Isa in English, but in Arabic we call it Isa. We have the letter, can you see that? No, I don't know. Isa, his name is Isa, but it's in English Isa, okay? So they said that, I'm sorry. Okay. Isa was no more than a servant. We granted our favor to him, and we made him an example to the children of Israel. And this is the Quran. I don't write the name of the book, but just make the Quran verse. This is a verse from the Quran. The Quran claims that Isa was a mere human being sent as a prophet to confirm the message before Muhammad. What does it mean? They believe in Jesus? Yes. And it's written in the Quran? Yes. But by the name of Isa. And I don't know how they come with this name. But they don't believe Jesus as the Son of God. They don't believe that Jesus is God himself, incarnated. They don't believe that Jesus, he doesn't die on the cross or anything. They believe just Jesus is a human being. He's a prophet, like Moses, like any prophet, like Jeremiah, like Ezekiel, like any prophet in the Old Testament. So when you speak to them about Jesus, well, he said, yes, he knows Jesus, but he knows Jesus as a servant, just a man, human being. And he is a prophet, like any prophet, and he is the last prophet before Muhammad. Because Muhammad is the last prophet. That's what they're saying. So there will not be any prophet other than Muhammad after that. So Jesus came, and then Muhammad, the last one. Isa is not the son of Allah, as I said. Islam considers blasphemy to say that. So he considered you and me, we are infidel. Why? Because we believe that Jesus is the Son of God. For them, when you say Jesus is the Son Jesus is the Son of God, you offend them. Like they will look at you like you're infidel. You know, just blasphemy. You say something crazy. Don't say that. I'm saying like they say that. Okay. So they don't believe that Jesus is. Also, they don't believe that Jesus was not crucified, and instead he was rescued by Allah and taken into paradise. And this is mentioned in the Quran. Again, this is verses from the Quran. I don't mention anything from my mind or myself. So they believe that Jesus was not crucified or died, and there is no resurrection, of course. What's happened? That God protects Jesus from dying. And make the people, he disiluded the people, and there was a guy, his name is Judah, and he looks like Jesus exactly, and people wanted to take Jesus to kill him. That's their story. And then God deluded them to protect Jesus, and they went to Judah and they crucified Judah. So I'm asking them, why God protected Jesus and doesn't want to protect Judah? And why he deluded the people? And many questions. But anyways, they do not believe that Jesus died on the cross. So when you speak with them about this is blasphemy for them. So that's very important to know that. Before I talk about the Trinity, do you have any question? Okay, are you still with me, guys, or that's too much information? Okay. All right, so that's about Jesus. Then, the Trinity. We believe that God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit are one. They are on the same level. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, we believe with that's our religion. Now, their Trinity, they said that, so believe in Allah and His messengers, see not Trinity. It will be better for you. Allah is one Allah, and this is mentioned in this verse. verse in their Quran. So once again, they do not believe in Trinity, period. So they don't believe in Jesus Christ, they don't believe in like the Trinity, that Jesus came, incarnation, the Holy Spirit. And again, they consider you as infidel because you believe in Trinity. And they ask some question like, say, like, you guys believe in 3 gods? And by the way, they believe that, they are thinking that we believe in 3 gods, God, Jesus, and Mary. Why? Why do they believe this? Because of the Catholic Church. So they are thinking that worship Mary and Jesus and God. And say like, how you worship Mary? She's a human being. That's number 1. Number 2, how you guys believe like 3 gods? 1, 2, 3. Number 3 or 4. They ask you, well, and that's for Jesus. You say that Father, talk about Father, Son, and so when Son Jesus Christ came, and if Jesus is God Himself, and when God Himself incarnated and came here, like you said, and He died, who was controlling the world in that time when He died on the cross? They will ask you this question. You said that Jesus is God and He died on the cross. Now He died. In that time, who was running the world if He died? Well, I respect the way they're thinking. I mean, I do not put them down. They do not know. They don't have the light of the Holy Spirit. You understand me? That's the way they grow up. And it's a logic for them. It's a logic question for them. Well, God died on the cross here. Well, who's running the world? So that's the questions. When they ask you this question, they don't try to debate with you. No, they want to know. They want to understand. It's not about like, this is the way it is, you have to accept it. No, he wants to understand. So we need to help him. And we will come to this later. And then Islam believes that Allah is numerical 1. We talked about this. Claim that Christian believe in 3 individuals, as I said, God and Mary and Jesus. Muslims are encouraged to correct and admonish those who believe in 3 gods, the polytheists. Well, actually, that's why when you hear about Iran or Egypt, or they just killing Christian and beating, pastors and destroying churches, because the Quran told them to do this. The Quran told them to correct this by words. If you don't accept them by hands. That's what's right. Muslims reject the concept of Trinity and consider it as blasphemy, and I said that. Do you have any question about Trinity? See, I give you just some points to understand, to know just, what do they think. Do you have any question about Trinity? Okay. Is it clear? All right. So the Holy Book, and this is for my brother here when he asked about the Holy Book. The Holy Book called Quran Kareem, and this is their book. It's very important to know what their book about. And again, I'm just giving main points. Their book, they believe in Torah of Muslims, which is the first 5 books in our Old Testament. They believe it, and they call it Torah. Then they believe in the Zabur of David. Zabur of David, which is Psalms of David. So they believe in that. Then they believe in the Injil of Isa. The Injil, which is the Gospel of Jesus, which is Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Then they believe in the Quran, of course, of Muhammad. They believe in it. So when you open the Quran and read, you find some stories from Moses. Yes, you find Moses in some stories. You find some of David's Psalms. Yes. You find some of the Injil and Jesus and how he was born and some stuff like that. Different from us, but anyway you find it. And then they believe, of course, in Quran. When they ask me, If they believe in this in our Bible, why they say that your Bible is corrupted? Why don't they believe in us? Why don't they believe in our Bible? If they believe in this, why don't they believe in our Bible? Well, here's the answer. Because they believe that our Bible was corrupted. 100%. So, yes, they believe in the Torah, in the first Bible. The Bible that was not corrupted. But now, your Bible is corrupted, so we do not believe in what's in your Bible nowadays. Well, guys, you believe in Matthew, Luke, John, Mark, you believe in Injil, so believe in what we're saying about Jesus. No, we don't believe. Why? Because your Bible is corrupted and we don't believe it anymore. We believe in the Injil, in your original Bible that was not corrupted. Well, then we ask them, where is the original? They said all it disappeared. Who corrupted the Bible? They do not know. So many questions. I have another class about how to approve that our Bible is not corrupted, but anyways, they're just a little hints here. So we'll try to help them to understand that our Bible is not corrupted. So that's why they believe that. Now, they ask me, why do they believe that our Bible is corrupted? Because our Bible does not have the name Muhammad. So what they are saying is that we Christians came and we changed the Bible to take off all the name of Muhammad and the events belong to Muhammad, to make Muhammad out of the picture. And that's why they believe that our Bible was corrupt. The Christian Bible is corrupted. Muslim leaders, I said this, teach that Jews and Christians forgotten to change the scripture, removing reference Allah, Muhammad, Mecca, and the Kaaba. So we took off as Christian and the Jewish people. We took their Allah, Muhammad, Mecca, and Kaaba. This place I show you in the map before. So that's what they believe with that. Yes, sir.
Two questions. Is the Quran contain more violence than Hadith? And number two, do they view the Hadith with as much authority as the Quran?
As much what?
Authority.
Authority. That's a good question. Did you read about Quran before?
No.
It seems that you're familiar with Islam. Your question is very good. Well, yes and no. Yes, they believe the Quran is number one. That's number one. This is like the Bible. So that's like that's why they call the Holy Quran. Holy. But Hadith, it doesn't have the same authority like Quran, but it has the same powerful words like the Quran. Like if it is said in the Hadith said this and this, well, they believe it. But nowadays, and now I'm not talking like nowadays like 5-10 years, Muslims started to started to be kind of like suspicious of some of the hadiths. So some Muslims say this hadith is not confirmed yet, but this one is confirmed. So other Muslims came and they say, hey, no, this is confirmed, but this not confirmed. So they start to debating together about the confidential of hadith nowadays. But before, hadith was like, Muhammad said this and this, so everybody is obeying it. And hadith talk about lots of things, and they have like 2 big books about hadith. So lots of things. So all what was not mentioned in the Quran mentioned in the hadith. So the hadith is very powerful and has to be followed. Except nowadays they started to fighting to each other about hadith. Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah. Any other question about the Quran? Okay. This is the last 2 topics for the first session about 2 women. And I'm sorry, I forgot to give my second half of your question, my brother, about the hadith is more violence than the Quran. Well, some of the hadith has some more violent commandments than the Quran, But in the Quran, I don't wanna say that to get scared. It's not, again, this is for the terrorist people, but not for every Muslim. The Quran, for an example, has a verse. It's saying that kill Jewish and don't take any Christian as a friend. It's a verse in the Quran. Now, when my Bible said love your enemy, and I read my Bible saying love your enemy, what should I do? I'm praying. If I can't love my enemy, I will pray to love my enemy. If my Bible said hate your enemy, I will hate my enemy and say my Bible said that. Well, the Quran said kill the Jewish and don't take any Christian as a friend. So he's doing what his God told him to do. So he doesn't have any conscience inside or oh, I'm doing something bad. No, he's doing something right in his eyes. Again, this is for the terrorist people, but most Muslims don't do like this way. Women in Islam. I want to apologize for every woman here. What you are hearing about women in the Quran, it is in the Quran. I don't believe in it, because I'm a Christian, by the way. And so, but that's the way they're thinking about women. Men are in charge of women. And again, I'm reading from the Quran. This is verse from the Quran. So men are in charge of women because Allah has made the one of them to excel the other, and because they spend of their property for the support of women. So what I'm saying with this is, let me say this again. I was shown in the hell fire, and that the majority of its dwellers were women who were unforgettable, and that's in Hadith. That's in Hadith book. So this is one in the Quran. It's saying that man is in charge of women because God made one of them to excel the other, and they spend their property. What does it mean? Woman in the Quran means like my wife is like my phone. I own it. It's mine. Now, if I took my phone and would throw like this, break it, you don't have the right to ask me, why did you do this? Well, it's my phone. It's not your business. So I can have my wife as a property. She's mine. I can do whatever I want with my wife, good or bad. It's not your business. Nobody can stand before you. That's yours. So it's not about like Bible, love your wife and stuff like that. No, it's mine. The second verse, and this is in Hadith, that's my brother is asking about. It's called the Hadith Bukhari. Bukhari is the name of the guy. So the Hadith in volume 1, number 28, is saying that Muhammad said, that's why it's called the Hadith. Hadith means a talkative, like Muhammad said to somebody. Said he went to the heaven and he was shown that the hellfire, he saw the hell. The majority will be from women, not men. So most of the women will go to hell, not men. That's what he's saying. That's how they think about women. Now, women's trustworthiness is not equal to men at all. Women never been equal to men, and they're not really trustworthy at all. Why? Women have an ability to be intelligent or reliable, so they cannot be an equal witness. So because of that, if two people went to the court for any problem, the first one brought one man, but the second one has to brought two women if he doesn't have men as a witness. So one man equal two women in the court. If you bring one woman to one man, it doesn't work. That's for the witness of in the court. So that's why this, because she is, again, she's not trustworthy, and she's an ability to be intelligent or reliable. That the Quran said. This is how they look to women. Then women's share in the inheritance is half to her brothers. So if I have a brother and a daughter, and my will go like this way, 2 double for men, half of this for my daughter. So my daughter will take half of the inheritance, but my son will take all of it. Do you get it? So my son will take one, she's gonna take half, not one. Why? Because she's a woman. In Egypt, this is a law. A law. So if I die in Egypt, if I don't write my wills, they will automatically take my money, my house, give 2 portions to my son, 1 portion to my daughter. Automatically. It's just Islamic law. She can never be an independent woman. Competent person because her character by nature is defective. That's how we think about it. Again, I'm so sorry. I don't believe with that. Don't even tell my wife I said that. So, men are promised many pleasures in paradise, including beautiful women, including Boras, beautiful virgins, and men enjoy it. Well, let me talk about this a little bit. I told you before that there is no any promise for any man to go to heaven unless he commit a suicide, killing a Christian or burning, hitting the 2 towers, whatever. In that case, that guy, he will go to heaven directly. So that's why this is the mentality when they got a man, young man, and maybe he has not really good future. So they took this man and make brainwash. Listen, you want to go to heaven? Yes, come. I give you gun, go to this place, shoot these people. If you will die, you will get to heaven. So that's number 1. You will go to heaven. Without God, will not going to ask him. Number 2. What the second promise? The second promise is for every Muslim, including the homicide guys, the guys who did the killing. Is the promise in heaven. In their mind, heaven will have wine to drink, good place to live, and you have, that's for men, you have 71 virgin, black eyes women to sleep with them every day. That's the promise. Now, why black eyes? Because they thought that black eyes is more beautiful, so that's why black eyes. Why it's a virgin? Because virginity in the mentality of Muslims in the Middle East is very important. It's something very, very important. And so every man in heaven, in their heaven, they will drink wine, they will sleep with 71 women every day. Don't you change your mind? So we ask them some of the question. Adultery in Islam is sin. What they call a guy sleep with 71 women every day. Wine and the drinking in Quran is sin in earth, and in heaven they would drink wine. It doesn't make any sense, you know. And the third question: if you promise man with this stuff, we will just say like this is good stuff for them. Okay, if you promise men with good stuff like this, what about the women? There is no any promise for women in heaven. We do not know. The Quran or Hadith doesn't mention anything for women. We don't know what they're gonna do in heaven. So women have to specific promise to paradise. There is no any specific promise. We don't no promise for them. Men can marry up to 4 women at the same time, with the maximum of 49 in their lifetime. So if I have 4 women, I can marry 1, 2, 3, 4 at the same time. So I can have 4 women at the same time. Now, I can divorce one and marry another one. So I have 4. At the same time, I cannot exceed than 4. Then I can divorce 2 and bring another 2. So I have 4. So I can divorce and marry 4 women at the same time until 49. I can't exceed 49, that will be too much. So So that's the way it is. So that's why you see, like, Muslims can marry 4 women, but at the same time they can divorce and marry, divorce and marry, divorce and marry, because the Quran telling them about that. Women cannot do this. Cannot. This is only just for women. But Muhammad had promised, had permission to marry as many as he wanted in his life. So Muhammad not just married 4, but marry a lot than this. So that's why he just gave the commandment without following it. Before I go with this, for an example, one of the verses in the Quran saying that if your wife has an agreement with you, he said like this way: talk to your wife. If she doesn't, serious attending to this. I hope she's Christian. I'm gonna say, yeah. It said to your wife, if there is an argument between you as a man and your wife, talk to her. If she doesn't listen, beat her. Beat her. The Bible, the Quran says that. If she doesn't listen, ignore her head on the bed. Don't sleep with her. Now, that's a big issue. So when we see men beating their wives, well, he doesn't feel any conscience. He doesn't do anything wrong because the Quran told him to do that. So that's why here we said that we are the same, male and female, like the Bible says. Because we are one in Jesus Christ. They said no. Husband, love your wives, and just as Christian love the church and give himself to, that's the Bible said that. The Quran said beat your wife and ignore her in the bed if she kept disobeying you. So that's really, listen to this please. You may face a situation from your daughter or your granddaughter, God forbidden, or one of your neighbors, that our daughter wants to marry a Muslim guy. I don't mind. I don't have any authority to say to whoever marry whoever. I mean, it's their decision. Yes. I'm not saying Muslims are bad people. No, not at all. Muslims are exact like us. Human being, parents, moms have the same feeling. They are human beings. I'm gonna talk about this, how to reach them. I'm not saying, all this stuff, it's in the Quran and they follow it, but it's diluted, but they're good people. Now, but coming to marry, tell your daughter, tell your granddaughter, tell the daughter that your neighbor's house, this is the teaching about the Quran. If they live in America, they will be protected, yes. But if he decided to take his wife and go back to the Middle East or Saudi Arabia or whatever, he will deal with her like this. He will beat her. He can marry 3 women. He can divorce her. He can do whatever. And listen, the government over there in my country and the other Islamic country is supporting man. So if I started to beat my wife, and my wife called the police, it's not like here, the police will take me to the prison. No. The police, the government will stand by me, with me. You're right. You have to discipline your wife. They will force my wife to stay in my home. If my wife took her clothes and ran away from me to her parents' home or somewhere, I'm gonna call the police and say, please, my wife ran away and she's in this place. What will happen? The police will take a car and bring her by force to my house. In that case, the woman is just powerless. They will come and live with me and surrender to me. So that's why it's very important to know this teaching. As I said, be careful for that, and you have to teach them. Last thing, the 5 pillars, and I will close with this. I'm sorry I forgot that I have one more, but very quickly, they believe in 5 different beliefs. 5. Do you have any question, by the way? Do you have any question in the past? Yes, sir.
You said that only the men can go to paradise, depending upon what they've done in their life. And then you also said that they would have 71 virgins, but the women are not allowed to go to heaven. So how do they get all these virgins in heaven?
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I was not clear for that. Men and women will go to heaven if they did good. They will go to paradise. Men and women will go to paradise if God will allow them to go to paradise. But what I'm saying is, when both will go to paradise, men has promise for women and all the things, but women do not have any promise from God to them. And answering to your question, we do not know how God will bring 71 virgin women every day for each man in paradise. I don't know. Maybe he's going to create them or something. I don't know. That's big numbers. 71 women every day for each man. That's big numbers. I don't know. So it is not about men will sleep with women in heaven, because that's the number will match. But I think they just, I don't know what God will do. That's what they're saying. Somebody was raising, yes.
So you said that they could, if there's a disagreement between a husband and wife, he was to talk to her, and then second, beat her, and then third, don't sleep with her. What after that? Is that then when they would divorce, or socially, how does that work?
Well, the idea is how to discipline your wife. So I think if you talk to her, if you beat her, if you ignore her in the bed, I think she has to, after beating her and something like that, she's gonna scared and she obey him. But if she doesn't do that, he has the choice to divorce her.